Morning, everybody. My question for you today is, are you a conqueror? Continuing in Romans 8, our verse is Romans 8:37. Knowing all these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Do you feel like a conqueror? At times I do, many times I do not. How about you? According to our verse, we ultimately are, even when we don't feel it in the moment. It is not our strength and determination that makes this happen. It is only through God's strength that we are and truly can be conquerors. In what areas do you need God's help today to be a conqueror? I suggest, take some time to think about that and maybe pray and ask God for some additional strength if you feel like you're not really quite cutting it today. Our recipe for today is actually cereal. We will be doing, I believe, breakfast the rest of this month. And it's avocado cereal, actually. And we're starting with a cup of organic coconut milk, So Delicious, or some other brand, unsweetened. I've actually already heated up the coconut milk, as you can see from the steam. Try to speed up this process so you're not, waiting for coconut milk to boil. And we're going to take half of an avocado and mash it up in the coconut milk. So I find it easiest to pull out of the skin and the slices usually, so that's why I'm just get any loose stuff out of inside of here. Okay. All right, so I've got the coconut milk in there. I've got the avocado in there. I'm just using a fork and kind of pushing the slices up against the sides to try to kind of mash it up a little bit. Okay, so just a little bit here, a little bit there. And get hold of any bigger chunks here. Obviously, the more ripe the avocado is, the softer it's going to be and the easier this is. You could also blend this in a blender if you wanted to get real persnickety and get it real blended. I am going to add to this 1/3 of a cup of almond flour. Adding that to the saucepan. Basically just kind of whisking that in with the fork. I'm going to break up any clumps. And just a little pinch of Celtic sea salt and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Four drops of Sweetleaf vanilla stevia. In this case, it kind of comes out squirts in the sweet drops ones. All right, mix that in. I'm going ahead and putting in, the spices and some flavoring type things, because right now it's easier to mix in. Once I add in the next ingredient, it's going to start thickening and not blend as easily. So now I'm adding in a tablespoon of psyllium powder. And I'm going to go ahead and put this back on the stove. Just blending it all in. And it is thickening up. It's starting to bubble a little bit. You cook this for approximately 5 minutes. Probably don't need to cook it quite that long because of having already heated up the coconut milk first. I will let that sit for a minute, and while that's cooking, I can put a couple things away. Put away my avocado here so it's not browning. I usually keep my avocados in a pint jar in the refrigerator once I've opened them, and they're obviously ripe, but kind of keep them from browning as much as possible. Rinsing off some things here. All that's cooking. And let me go give that another stir and see how it's doing. Yeah, that looks pretty good. resembles oatmeal. You can see because of the mashing up a little more of the avocado here. But as you can see, the psyllium makes it congeal like the oatmeal does. And so you've got pretty much a couple servings of hot cereal. May not be your first choice for breakfast in the summer, but lots of good fats and even a little protein there with the almond flour. And you can just top this however you want. One option would be a few wild blueberries sprinkled on the top. And you could have this with some coconut milk yogurt or more coconut milk if you prefer, or just eat it straight. We'll be back next week with another verse and of course, another breakfast recipe. So see you next week.